welcome back. In this lesson, I want to chat about that other truth I mentioned about objections that I think is just a helpful way to understand and the way I think about objections when people are presenting with them on a sales conversation or during that sales conversation. So something I think is really helpful to understand that I have just seen over and over again over the years in those sales conversations is that when someone gives you an objection, it is rarely about what they say it's about. So when someone gives you an objection, the real objection is rarely about what someone says it's about. It tends to be what we call in the coaching world, it tends to be the thing under the thing. So when someone gives you an objection, it's rarely about what they say it's about, what they're presenting with. It tends to be really about the thing under the thing. And this is so important to understand. And when someone gives you an objection, even though it tends not to be what they say it's about, they believe their objection so hard. So again, in the coaching world, we talk about the thing under the thing. So if someone gives you an objection, it's rarely about what they say it's about. It tends to be about something else. And whatever someone says as an objection tends to be kind of that story, that excuse, that thing that we cover up with, that as humans makes us feel good and safe. And it's just the story we buy as to why we can't have things or do things. This happens in and out of business all over the place. And when we have those excuses, those stories, as humans, we tend to believe our own BS. We tend to believe it hard, and we tend to fight for our limitations and our BS pretty hard. It's literally why I have a job as a coach, because it's really hard for us to see in ourselves the stories and the BS and the excuses we make and how much we fight and cling to them. And we fight and cling to these stories and this BS as humans because in some way it makes us feel safe, or it helps us to avoid things that feel uncomfortable, or it helps us, we think we get what we want through these excuses. I'm gonna give you an example in a minute so this doesn't sound so abstract and obtuse, but here, I just want you to understand that, like, super normal. We all do this as humans. I'm sure I do this as well. This is what my coach calls me out on all the time. And so in a sales conversation, when an objection comes up, it is, again, rarely about what someone says it's about. It's usually the thing under the thing. And so important, the person you're speaking to really believes what they're telling you. And this is important to understand because what tends to happen and why so many people, I think, struggle with navigating an objection is you hear an objection as a service provider, as someone on the selling side. And if we just believe what people are telling us to be as that is the objection, I can't afford it, I don't have enough time. We think, okay, that means they can't afford it, they don't have enough time. And we just believe what we're being told. What do? We tend to speak to, I can't afford it, I don't have enough time. And we try to solve that like it's a problem. But if that is what's presenting and it's really about something that's under the surface, we're literally navigating the wrong conversation. So if I'm saying I don't have enough time, but what's really going on is I am scared shitless that I'm going to fail. If I'm over here trying to help you find time in your calendar, I could do that all day long until my face turns blue. That's never gonna help us move forward in this conversation because that's not the conversation we need to have. Just like if you're saying, I can't afford it, I can't afford it, I can't afford it, when the truth is you're sitting on a bunch of money in your savings and you can't afford it, you're just terrified you're gonna make the wrong choice, or you've made a bad investment in your past, or you don't trust yourself to show up for the investment. We can take a look at practically your money or talk about how you can find the money, or with some of the gross stuff I hear, like sell your wedding ring or sell something to go make the money. We can talk about all of the money pieces on the surface and try to handle the objection that way all day long. It's never actually going to move the conversation forward because it's not actually about that. It's about the thing under the thing. Hopefully this makes sense to you. So really important there because that's one place I just see this part of the conversation fall flat. The other area I see this fall flat is, let's say, the person in front of you, they're telling you I can't afford it. And you're like, no, I think you can afford this. And that's not what's really going on. If you don't understand that they believe what they're telling you, they're like fighting for this limitation. They believe their BS so hard. If you don't understand that, what tends to happen again on the selling side as a service provider is it's really easy to either try to argue with someone or think that they're lying to you or think that they're full of shit. or to really try to get combative with them because you think that they know the same thing you know, and you think they're just telling you an excuse to try to get out of the conversation. So really, really important here to see our approach in navigating objections is going to change so much when on the selling side, we can see that the objection is rarely about what people say it's about. And whatever they're saying it's about, they tend to believe, because as humans, we love to fight for our limitations, which means our job then becomes, how can I support this person in front of me to get clear on what the true objection is? How can I help them get clear on what's really going on and help support them through that? And how can I help them get past their own BS without making them feel wrong, without treating them like they're lying to me, without shutting down or trying to argue with them, because that's not going to help anyone here navigate this conversation. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I'll close with an example here because I think sometimes an example can help this concept make a little more sense. So let's say you were trying to sell me on the idea that I need to work out every day. And we started chatting. We're not even gonna talk about like exchanging money. Like we're just gonna talk about selling a concept, selling an idea. And we were chatting as friends, and I had come to you like, I wanna get into shape. And you're selling me this idea that I need to work out every day. And my objection to you is I literally don't have the time to work out every day. Like I don't have the time, I can't do it, I don't have the time. What we can see here is if we take what I'm talking about in terms of what I'm saying, my objection is probably not about what I say it's about, and I believe what I say it's about, we can see, oh, okay, I'm saying I don't have enough time. It's probably not that I don't have enough time, because hey, we all have the same amount of time, and we all allocate our time towards the things we value the most and the things that are the biggest priority for us. So interesting, it's probably not what I'm saying it's about, which means we want to get clear on what's really going on. Why am I saying I don't have enough time? Is this not a priority of mine or something else going on? And I believe this. I am telling you I don't have enough time because I believe I don't have enough time. This is probably the story that I give all over the place. This is probably my excuse, my BS that I fight for really hard in my life because it works and it prevents me from having to do stuff I don't want to do, from getting uncomfortable, and makes me feel safe. So can you see, talking about working out, I believe I don't have enough time, but maybe as my friend, you might find out what's really going on. And maybe it turns out, actually, I don't want to work out. It's not a priority for me. Or actually, I'm kind of nervous because I have an injury and I hurt myself in the past, and I'm really nervous about going back to the gym and injuring myself again. Or maybe going to the gym scares me because I don't know how to use the equipment and people intimidate me there, and I'm just like scared to go to the gym. Or maybe I'm a little worried that I'm gonna commit showing up every day and I'm still not gonna get into shape. Like I don't actually believe that I can get the results I want. Who knows? It could be one of, all these different things. But what I'm saying, what is so much easier than saying, hey friend, I am scared to go to the gym because I think people will make fun of me. Or hey friend, I'm scared to commit to working out every day because I'm scared that I might actually literally be in the same place I am now. Like I'm just someone who can't get into shape. I won't be able to do this. I won't get the results I want. And it just feels way better sitting here. Instead of saying that, the easiest thing for me to say is I don't have enough time. I'm way too busy. And I believe that. So hopefully that example there can help you see the presenting objection. I don't have enough time, rarely about not having enough time, rarely about what I say it's about, but I believe that because I don't want to have to admit to you or to myself about what it's really about. And our job as we're navigating objections is to find out, without shitting on the person who is in front of us, to help them feel heard and understood and help them feel safe, help understand and unpack the layers and find out what is the objection really about, because that is the thing that is really keeping this person from moving forward to making a decision to move towards what it is they want. And again, going back to week 1 in this course, that is heart-centered selling. We're gonna help someone make that decision, get clear on what they want, and make that decision to move towards what it is they want. So I hope this is helpful for you. As a recap, when someone is giving you an objection, it is rarely about what they say it's about, and they tend to believe that what they're telling you is true. So our job is to help unpack this in a heart-centered way to get to the bottom of what is this objection really about. All right, I hope that's helpful for you, and I will meet you in the next lesson.